Just between you and me, this is night. There's no tricks. Ooh, this love is so real. Just between, this is not. Ooh, there's no tricks. This love is so real. Just what do I have to do to let you know? Should I make your flowers grow? Should I make it rain or snow? Yeah. So many things I've done just for you. Forest green and ocean blue, just to show my love is true. Just between you and me, this is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real. Just between. This is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real, yeah.
Don't you know I taught the birds to fly on the stars up in the sky? Can you guess the reason why? Can you take more than a passing glance? Nothing is by happenstance, yet you think it's just by chance. Just between you and me, this is not no trick. This love is so real. Between you and me, this is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real. Ocean deep, river wide, valley low and mountain high. All creation testifies of my love. Summer breeze and winter snow, autumn leaves should let you know. In the springtime, every flower's bloom. It's all for you. This love is so real. Just between you and me, this is not. There's no trick. Yeah. This love is so real. Between you and me, it's not. There's no trick. This love is so real.
You thought it messed up? It didn't mess up. What's up, y'all?
What up? What
We
up?
probably should not show this microphone in the shot right now.
What you talking about, Primo? That was your music. What you talking about?
Where's my music at? I thought
What
that was
up,
the song you
Kim?
like. You know what I'm saying? That's why we played it for you. What's up, y'all?
Hey, Madeline.
Glad to have you guys tonight. Glad you are
Yes.
watching. This is a big night for us. Well, this whole week has been a big week for
Yes, it
us.
has. Yes, it
well,
has.
for April, but for me too. I guess for the whole family.
Yes. Thanks, guys, for all my birthday wishes.
Yeah. So thanks for wishing her happy
And-
birthday. For shouting her out
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
responding to all the Facebook stuff.
And my husband telling me no cooking for the week.
I did give her the week off of
So,
cooking.
and I
That's
have
true.
gifts coming in the mail every day, y'all. I'm just living the life over here. Got
Yeah, it's
my
been
feet
good.
up.
Have your feet
all
actually?
week.
You worked.
My feet but they've been up. After work, I go put my feet up, and you
Yeah.
bring me food
I've been doing that, but
like all day. I
it
don't
feels
know
like
what
this
I'm gonna
week has
do next
been-
week when I gotta go back to work.
So
out
you
the
have
house.
you have had the benefit of not having to go into the office or into the school for the past couple of weeks. That's
Exactly,
good. So it's
exactly.
bad that you're gonna have to do that
I know.
next week.
It's all right.
I'm very
living it
sorry
up.
for you.
I'm
on
living
that.
it up
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying?
Thank you, Abdel. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. Thanks for the birthday wishes. And let me get that cash app. $5 per chime will get you a. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, he did that for you. $5 a chime. You remember that?
Yeah.
I think you got like $15, babe.
maybe 20. You know what I'm saying? It was
That
nice.
was good. That was good. Thanks, Primo. Thanks. Yes.
That's probably better.
we need to go ahead and get started. 'Cause we
Hannes,
have a lot
you know what?
to talk about tonight.
Hannes, I think I saw a text message from you
Hannes,
earlier, but
what's up?
I didn't respond. Let me check right now. I'm saying
Why are you dissing Hannes?
I was in the middle of getting ready for the show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I have not seen you in a long time. Very long time.
Oh, he says he's sick, so he's actually going to watch the show tonight because he doesn't have to prepare for prayer meeting. So what's up, Hannes? Glad you
Prepare
can
for
join.
prayer meeting?
So in a normal situation,
Wait a
he's in
minute.
Cali.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
In
wait.
a normal situation, he's prepping for prayer meeting, so he can't actually watch the
you're
show
sick.
live.
I'm so sorry.
I hope you're not sick with anything,
You know, when people say I'm sick, automatically we're like,
Yeah.
you must have the Rona.
Yeah.
Hope you don't,
Yeah.
but
I hope
You
you
know,
feel better soon.
hope you
too.
feel better.
Glad you could join us tonight.
yes.
So for those of you that are on, you definitely want to share tonight because this is one of those conversations that I think will get you thinking. It's one of those conversations that, depending on which side of the conversation you're on, you might get offended tonight.
I'm really ready to hear from the chimes on this one.
I am too.
I'm ready to hear
I think chimes that grew up in ministry or that have been close to ministry they'll probably be okay. But the ones that didn't, maybe.
No.
You don't think they're gonna be offended tonight?
No, because the chimes know the deal. They know the
Maybe.
real deal. They do. We
Maybe.
know based on some of the other comments that they've made in other conversations we've had.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, tonight's episode is brought to you by Ideas to Life. Ideas to Life is an important factor in our lives
Yes,
specifically
yes,
because
yes.
of what has happened. Ideas to Life is where you can, where they take what you're good at and turn it into a business.
Yes,
And this is-
Ideas to Life is sponsoring a challenge next week, guys, to help you create a group offer that will help you increase your income and impact while working less. To get your spot, go to www.createyourofferchallenge.com and I will put it in the chat.
Yeah, we got it on the screen for you, but we definitely want you to make it clickable.
Yes, this is the real deal right here.
It is. So this guy in the picture, his name is Kimon Hines. Kimon Hines is, I think, kind of a genius, at least for people like us, because we have something that we're good at, we have something that we like doing, but we didn't know what to do with it. And we brought the idea to Kimon, and he said, if you do these things, I actually think you could make this into a business. That's what he did.
Yeah, he really, I mean, I'm not trying to be, but he really changed our lives.
He really did. Like, not trying to be
I
dramatic.
mean, no, not trying to
Yeah.
be dramatic. No,
Yeah.
but seriously,
But he
like,
really did.
brought some things into our lives that we didn't even know were I don't know, that we could even do stuff like
The
that.
big
Like,
thing about Kimon
yeah,
is
he's really good.
not just that he can take your idea and help you turn it into a business, but at least for us, He helped us with our confidence. There are things that we had to offer to the world that we didn't think anybody would actually pay for. We didn't think it was something that was good enough to offer as a service that was worth getting paid for. And actually, this kind of goes into our subject
I was
tonight,
just about to say, it goes in our subject because working for the church, you can really feel like you have to do this for free.
Everything you do should be free.
Everything you do should be free.
And so he kind of helped us with our mindset on that. So anyway, he's got this challenge coming up. It's free. You definitely want to be a part of it. 3-day challenge, January 31st to February 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. each day. So go to createyourofferchallenge.com and you can get more information about that right now.
Yes. So,
okay.
What up, Jeremiah? Thank you so much.
Where's
hey,
Jeremiah?
Michael.
Hey, what's up? That's nice, man. Yeah, thanks for the birthday wish.
Yes.
And you're talking about, come on, infomercial background music.
Michael be bringing
Oh,
jokes.
my goodness, man. Okay, y'all. So we have some guests tonight that we're excited to have. We're excited about them for a couple of reasons. We've been watching their show a lot lately. You may have seen one of their more recent episodes, actually. We have the Khalasars on tonight. It's Carlene and Jamie. They've got a show on Facebook. And about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, we'll confirm in a second. I think it was about 3 weeks ago, they did a show specifically on jewelry, like wearing jewelry in the church and stuff like that. And it was such a hot topic. And the very next week, I think they had to come back with part 2.
Yeah.
And then last week, we saw them talking about, you know, what it's like to be in the ministry and have a pastoral family and all that kind of stuff. And so we just said, man, we
That
got to
hit home.
Yeah, it really did.
really
to be honest,
did.
let me be honest with you. If I'm being 100, what really happened was Carlene said some stuff in that first episode about jewelry.
Carlene don't even know what she said. Changed some stuff up in this house.
She doesn't even know.
Okay?
She doesn't even know.
Change some stuff.
And some stuff she said gave me an epiphany about my wife specifically and what she has to deal with.
Thank you, Carlene.
Yeah.
I owe you one.
So
girl.
so it was really after that first episode, I said to April, yo, we got to ask them to be on the show. I don't think I asked them right away, but I was glad that they were gracious enough to say yes. So,
and I just want to say also, they have a really good show.
They really do.
And
you need to watch
I
it.
want you guys to make sure that you share right now.
Yes.
So that we can get to know them together.
Yes.
And enjoy this conversation.
All right, so we'll bring them on right now.
We got some chimes who just came in. So great. Hey, guys.
Carlene and Jamie, how y'all doing? Thank you guys for being on here tonight. Oh, you know what? I watch your show, so I know what you like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's loud enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I had to turn it loud enough.
That's not loud enough.
You know what I'm saying?
That was good.
This is what y'all need to get entered into the show right there. You know what I'm saying? You got
Exactly.
your. How you guys doing?
Man, we are good and so grateful to be in this space with you guys.
Yay,
So,
so glad.
Yeah, I was thinking about what you said earlier because, we're an hour back and I told my church I couldn't do prayer meeting tonight. So somebody turns on Facebook. They can be like,
Oh,
This is why.
Oh my goodness. We feel so special. You sacrificed prayer meeting for us.
well,
We
this
feel
is
really
this
special.
is ministry still, right?
That's right.
It is.
Yes.
Ministering in a different way.
That's right.
Exactly.
Different audience.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Precisely.
This is a prayer meeting.
Except
It
that
is.
maybe some of your prayer meeting people are going to skip tonight and actually watch. So, you know what I'm saying?
There we
That's
go.
okay. That's okay.
So I'm just curious, real quick. I asked you this before the show, but I don't think you answered me. Are you guys virtual or are you guys in person at your church right now?
So we were in person, but we were limiting it to a certain amount of people.
Okay.
We got the temperature checks and all that. But with the Omicron variant, we just decided to just go. We just go in to record now. To do it
Oh,
live.
yeah.
But I just have like my elders, myself, and that's it. So we don't have anybody coming in.
Okay. So then tonight's prayer meeting would have been virtual anyway.
Yeah. So prayer meeting is always virtual. We're not.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
honestly, man, it's like I'm always going to be one.
It's the pandemic, man.
like 5 people, even before the pandemic. It was only like
Right.
5.
Right. We
So,
understand that. We understand that.
Yeah, we've been pastoring for a while too, so we know.
Okay, guys.
It's like the stepchild of divine worship.
It is. Unless you're at Freddie Russell's church, though. Unless you're
Yeah,
at Freddie's.
Yeah, Freddie's prayer meeting's next level. He has more people at prayer meeting
more
than he
people
did
at prayer meeting.
at regular church.
So he's
Yeah.
on another level when
Yeah,
it
he
comes to
is.
prayer
He
meeting.
is. He designed his whole joint around the prayer meeting model,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So it makes sense. But anyway, he's different.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
he's a beast.
He is.
But we want to get to know you a little bit. And so
Okay.
tell us how you guys, got together. How did you meet? Got married and all that kind of stuff. We want to hear.
What's your origin story?
Yes,
basically?
what's your origin story? The
Yeah,
truth.
yeah. You want me to go first?
Sure.
I'll be good. So, I was just walking down the street. Swagger was on a million.
You know what? Maybe you should go first.
I'm just giving you my version. This is how it played out in my brain.
Okay.
That's exactly how
Okay, go for it.
She saw me and she just couldn't resist, and she approached me and was like, "I need your number." I was kind of hesitant, but I was like, "It's the fourth quarter. I gotta go make the winning shot," and I was like, "Yo."
Come get your boy.
That's
That's
how I remember our story too. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Very similar story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, aren't they cute? Aren't they cute?
No, that's not how it happened. Lord have mercy. So we're both from New York, and at the time I was working at the Gap, and I was greeting on that particular day. Jamie, I believe, was visiting
Yeah.
from he was at AUC at the time, and he
Whoa, you guys met when you were still in undergrad?
yes.
Yeah, we'll give you a condensed version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's expensive, but you could definitely go back to
Yeah.
the archives where we kind of shared a little bit more in depth about our history.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we shared a mutual friend.
Mhm.
And my friend would always be like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this girl named Carlene." Long story short, he never got a chance to introduce us. And so I happened to be in New York visiting, coming out from college, and she was working at the Gap, and we connected. And it was only maybe maybe 3 or 4 months later
Right.
that we realized that our friend that wanted to connect us,
Wow.
and our mutual friend isn't Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Yeah, which is crazy.
We met in undergrad. We did a long distance relationship
Yeah.
from undergrad.
7 long years.
That's
So
right.
then y'all were
Wow. So
y'all were together
together.
when we knew you at seminary, Jamie.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it depends.
Wow.
It depends on
It
what
depends
month.
on what month.
There was a breakup in there, a couple breakups.
There were no breakups during his while he was in seminary.
That's
So, but yeah.
Right. You
Let
remember
me-
in the early part of the seminary, we were together.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me just say, I never saw Jamie with another woman at seminary. I'm just saying.
He's
So I just thought I didn't know you had anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I had no clue. So whether he was broken up or not, it sounds like he was.
It was
still-
all about you.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't.
no, it wasn't.
For this show purpose, for the purpose of this show, let's just keep it.
We'll say, all right, okay.
We'll go back to the archives.
I walk uprightly and escheweth evil.
Oh my
So the important part of this story, in our opinion, is, at least for me, is whether or not you, Carlene, knew that Jamie was going into ministry. Did you have an expectation that you were going to be a pastor's wife when you were
Right.
dating him?
Right.
So-
And at what point did you know, if you didn't know when you were dating, like at first or whatever?
So when we met, he was at AUC. He was a theology major. So I knew off the bat that
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
going into ministry. As I've always said, like our vibe, our friendship, the way that we kind of are, I never had that pressure or felt that pressure to be the quote unquote pastor's wife, right? To fit that mold
Yeah.
from the beginning. So I kind of gave myself a lot of slack, as well as he also kind of gave me that vibe where he didn't come with a whole lot of expectations. Well, you have to do this, you have to be that, or whatever. So we were always chill, right?
Okay.
Never that expectation of what a pastor would look like or what a pastor's wife would look like. So from jump, I walked into it knowing the expectations, but still trying to figure out how do I fit in that and how do I kind of live in my own truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
for me, I never like I'm not the one I like so I'll say I hate when I guess what how do I say like politically correct, right? So I never walk around and be like, I am Pastor Khalasar, like
Right.
Right.
asking, hey man, what's going on? Oh, just holding on, that kind of stuff. Dude, how are you doing? I'm good. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
bad,
yeah,
Right.
right.
Like,
Holding on. Oh,
yeah,
you got
Right.
me dying over here.
I hate that stuff, right? Like, be a
Yes.
human.
Right.
So I think for me with ministry, it's always been how can I be as human as possible?
Yes.
How can we be as human as possible and normal and show people like, hey, we're regular people. And I never wanted to like make Carlene fit a mold or live into something because I married her, right? I didn't
Right.
marry, I didn't want to marry the pastor's wife, right? I wanted to marry Carlene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like, Carlene, when you came into the church though, that as a pastor's wife, you were kind of given those things that you needed to do, the list, or did you feel that way? Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely felt that. I feel like the pressure didn't come from him. It
Mm-hmm.
came more from other people, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hearing little conversations or being a part of spaces where that you kind of felt it or sensed that was what the expectation was for me to fit the mold.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'll be in nominating committee, chairing it, and they'll ask like, "Would your wife like to be children's ministry leader?" And I'll be like,
Yes.
"I don't know. Ask her." Like like I would never be like, "I think that's a great idea," or try to push her into certain spaces, or make her dress a certain way because we were at Ephesus, and I know John, Ephesus.
Yeah, that's the church I was born into.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
father that was his first church. He was the youth pastor there.
yeah.
Wow.
John's dad's mold is in the.
It's like a bust.
It's a
It's like a
bust.
bust of it.
That's
Well, bro, no.
right.
When I first saw that joint,
I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
I first saw that, I was like, what kind of
they
idolatry?
created an idol?
What is this?
In the Hall of Fame, like when you walk through it, he's the only one with that, right?
That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen.
Listen.
And at first, hold on. We were on a choir trip years ago, and our girl.
I didn't even know that bus was there.
Yeah, my girl colleague said, "Hey John, look at this." She started laughing. I look at him like, "What is that?" I had to like double, triple take to see. I was like, "Is that my dad?"
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a demigod.
That's crazy. So anyway,
so we were there, and like the culture at Ephesus, very stush, very flagship churchy,
right.
and thank God we had great mentors like the Blues,
Yeah.
and Sister Blue, she's just like she's just carefree,
Yeah.
so she never, and that's good too that she never put that pressure on Carlene to be like, you have to come shake hands with your husband at the door,
Right, right.
like
We don't do that.
Yeah.
But
That's a lot of pressure. To have to start off ministry at a church like Ephesus from the
man.
beginning like that. That's a lot of pressure, and especially when your husband already isn't doing it, it's one thing. But to have a church that size, that caliber, all that kind of stuff, I'm sure that must have been a lot. How long did you guys spend there at Ephesus? And when you went from there, did it get any better? Or was it like, more of the same at your next district after that?
so we spent, I think, 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
4 years at Ephesus.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think of the 4 years, we were married for 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
were married 3 years, but I was there, right? I was attending church with him. But 4 years we were there, and a church like Ephesus comes with its own, I don't know, ruffles and
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on
Right.
everything.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So really trying to stay true to me was one of those things where I had like an internal battle where I was just like, I want to, because for me in my home church, I was so active, right? I was doing this, I was doing that. Like my hands were in everything. AY leader,
Wow.
assistant AY leader, choir director, Pathfinder leader. Like I was in everything, super involved. And I remember our counselor, what's his name? Not I don't want to say the
Cassie.
name, but dang, I didn't want to say the name,
Yeah.
but he did, but I didn't necessarily want to put him on front sheet. But okay. He suggested that for the first year that that I not do any form of ministry, that kind of
Okay.
just kind of
Yes.
stay low and just not do anything. And so for me, it kind of internally, like I'm active, like I'm literally in everything at my church. And I go from being super active to now I have to be super quiet, where I'm just kind of going along with whatever the program or whatever, but I really want to get involved. But I realized that maybe it's not the best because just trying to figure all that out was so
Yeah.
heavy on me, and him as well, because he would hear my heart's cry. But moving from Ephesus to the next church was a lot better because it was a smaller church and it had this like family
Yeah.
vibe, I think, which was great. So yeah, so the transition was great. I think going from the big church to the medium church, and wish we stayed there a little bit longer. But our time there was only 2 years, and then we moved to Texas. We made the decision to move to Texas. So yeah.
Yeah, but there was still, I would say that there was still some sort of pressure because Caribbean people have like a certain, rigid way of viewing pastors and pastoral families. So I think like that same Adventist expectation was always, but we
Now
always
hold on. I think it's a good disclaimer to probably say you're both Caribbean, right?
I
Yes.
have a
Yes.
Caribbean background.
Yes.
But I'm American. My passport is blue.
This dude is always trying to think the Caribbean part of him.
Because this is what Caribbean people do. When you're born in America, they marginalize you. They really kick you to the side and call you names. And so you know what? I'm gonna be
You go ahead and just go all the way.
So, people in here saying true about Caribbean Adventists, somebody else said, hold up.
Hey, Primo said, I don't know Carlene, but she don't look like the kind of lady who's going to be what you want her to be.
That's right.
Not today. Back then, for sure. Back then, I would say that it was a little rough. I went through my rough patch of just really trying to find my voice, trying to find my way in this thing called ministry, and not comparing myself to other pastors' wives who seem to fit that mold of grace. And it looks like, some pastors' wives, they look like they're walking on clouds. Like they don't even look like they're walking. They look like they're just gliding along, and it just comes with this flare.
Yeah.
Like,
how do I do that?
Girl.
Right. Well, that's so funny because for me, who grew up as a pastor's kid and then became a pastor's wife, 21 years pastor's kid and now 21 years pastor's wife. Okay.
Right. Well,
we just
22 years because you're 43 now.
No, babe.
Yes.
We've been married for 21 years.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Well,
Let me
21
just
years.
say my statement. I was trying to.
I was just trying to make a joke about your age. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Why are you making a joke? That should not be a joke, okay?
Your marriage is an adult.
You just messed that up for me.
I did.
Anyway, I don't even know what I was going to say now. Oh, I was going to say, it's funny. You say you were looking at, other pastors' wives and for me, I was like trying not to be a pastor's wife. I was actually against, and I would see and say, I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not putting on no white hat or whatever for this. I was actually fighting against it. And it was very difficult for me because I was super young coming in, and people are expecting me to look like the older pastors' wives that have been in for years. So it was like, to hear that you were looking like, oh man, I have to live up to that. Oh, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure as well on both ends. That's a lot.
It's true. It is a lot of pressure. Because it seems as though every pastor's wife that I know preaches, right? Right? They play the piano. They sing. All these things. I'm just like, okay, God, like for real.
I thought you sing, Carly.
I mean, I sing, but I don't sing like I'm not singing his appeal
His
It's
song.
appeal.
Let's be 100%. Let's keep it 100.
Okay.
I be up there preaching, struggling, and I be like, I need an appeal song. I be looking at my wife, baby, can you just say something
Just
for
sing a
me,
hymn.
please?
Just sing a hymn.
She's sitting there like
She's like, nah.
Like
That's
somebody
hilarious,
help.
man.
somebody else help him.
April
But like,
sang my appeals for years.
Wow.
Probably like 10 years.
I did, but we were in the little small churches, honey.
Right.
They needed some people to sing
Right,
appeals.
right, right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Started in a smaller church, I feel like that confidence or that the need, right? In bigger churches like Ephesus, there is no need for a pastor's wife to sing because you have the I don't know, like the creme de la creme of singers,
Right.
right?
no. Let me fix that. I'm not in the senior church. I'm in the youth church. All right. I'm in the back.
Right.
You know, in the outhouse.
Still.
Preaching and sweating. I just need a singer. Just help me bring these people
Just
to
one.
Jesus.
Right.
People be staring at me like, nope, not today.
That's hilarious, man.
Well, okay, so we want to discuss the idea of feeling controlled, okay, by others. Feeling controlled by, I don't know, I guess the church members, you know, the
So-
people that you have to.
Because this is really what you said, Carlene, in that episode that gave me the epiphany, that started a conversation with April that I think she's probably been wanting to have with me in some way, shape, or form for years, and we've never really had it for real. We've talked around it, we've talked about it, but not for real, for real. You said something about the fact that you were just tired of always feeling controlled. And so I went to April and I said, is that how you feel? Do you feel like you can't really be in control of your own life? Is that basically how it feels? And she was like, yeah. And I said,
Yeah.
man,
Wow.
this probably lasted your whole life because you were a pastor's kid and then now you're a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Here are the list of things you can do. Here are the list of things you can't. And the things that are on the can't side aren't even bad.
Right. It's not even really in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
You know? So that's really difficult. But we want to know take us on your journey in discovering, you know, that it's okay not to be concerned about what other people are going to say, because that's really the big thing, even with the attitude. Because I have the attitude and I tell my kids, don't care about what people say. You do what you feel. The Lord has told you. You know, I'm always talking like that. But then when it comes to me, I've had situations where I've cared about what people say, what they're going to say, even though deep down I'm really like, I don't care, but I do.
Right.
You know, so take us on your journey with that as you have been in the ministry.
But, hold on.
Okay.
But one more question though,
Okay.
attached to that. If you can answer this too, because I grapple with this as well.
Well,
I feel
sorry, you remember this? Because make sure you put up Keisha's. Not now. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like should there be a level of care that you have for what people say? So is there an appropriate level of caring, or should we just not care at all? Like anyway, just tell us on your journey. Like, what is your thought as far as that?
That's a really good question, and maybe I'll start there. I feel like you should care enough when you are not the one that's being sacrificed, or parts of you, like, right, the core of you isn't being sacrificed or compromised. Because I felt in my journey that I was compromising who I was, and this image of what other people wanted of me became something that I was in conflict with, because I was just like, that's not me. Like, I understand that this may appease people and make them feel better about the pastor, right? But I just felt, for me, I was just like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I think when I turned 40, that's when it happened. That's when that epiphany happened, where it was just like, how much longer do I have to sacrifice me and what I want to do, and what I want to do, what I want to be, how free I want to be, without having that pressure or hearing the voices of people, or not necessarily hearing the voices of people or what other people may say, right? Because we already know, right, what people are probably saying. And I was just tired of living with that heaviness, with that burden. And so I was just like, you know what? My my focus right now is my relationship with God and what God has to say about me, what God has to say. And yes, to a certain extent, it's a balance of trying to make sure that I'm living in my truth, but still being able to be, what's the word? Still being able to be cognizant of how it may make other people feel, or how other people may, what people may think, but that's not my focus, right? I,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I acknowledge it, like, okay, there are probably some people that are offended, or there are some people that are thinking this or thinking that, or saying this or saying that, but I'm not holding it so much. It's not holding as much weight as it did in the past.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I can relate so much because I actually, you said, it was once you turned 40. For me, I mean, it's been the whole time, like wanting to be free. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
freed. Let me say that.
Mm.
Let me say that. But I think for me, it's been the past year. It's been since the pandemic for me. Like my
Mm.
eyes were open during the pandemic, during
Yeah.
quarantine. Like, wow, I really have not been able to live for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should live for others. Yes, I do believe that we should live for others in a
In a
in a
balanced way?
service way,
Right.
that's what, in a balanced way, yes.
Hmm.
But when you feel like I just feel that when I am in Jesus, I should be free, right?
Amen.
There should be a freedom in
Amen.
Jesus. Not that now that I'm following
Now,
Christ,
hold on. I'm not sure. I think the word says that.
I think the Bible does say that, don't
He who
it?
the sun sets free is free indeed. I think.
And
Anyway,
look at Keisha's comment. She said,
some
feeling
passes wise on
passes
here.
wise. Yes,
Feeling
that feeling
controlled.
controlled and not really seen at the same time.
Yes, Keisha.
Yes,
Another pastor's wife, this is Cynthia. For me, the most challenging part was assimilating into the Southern culture. The struggle was real.
Cynthia, yes, because
We passed on the
Cynthia's
same
from
conference.
France.
Right.
So I
Right.
know she probably dealt with a lot of different things.
Another pastor's wife on here. This is a beautiful conversation.
She also said, my anxiety was always flaring up during high days at church, and my introvertness would just
Bubble up. I'd buck the system and just hide at home.
Wow.
Listen.
And then you get criticized for that.
Yeah. I think like one of the things that we've always been intentional about in our marriage was I don't introduce Carlene as this is the pastor's wife or this is my wife. I say this is Carlene. And I think also too, when people refer to her like she does not want to be called first lady, she does not want to be called pastor's wife. I have a name. And I think that was important in establishing, like, at least for me, for people to know that she has her own identity.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that she is her own person. Like she is not who she is because she's married to me.
Right.
She is her own person in her own right, with her own goals, her own accomplishments, and we just come together and we are unified. But do not pull her in to be like, to make it seem like she has to be that first lady or act like whatever it is. So that was something that we were very intentional about. Like, she's her own person. And she's my wife, and I love her, and I love her for whatever person she wants to be.
Right.
Have you gotten the name Sister Pastor yet? Have you gotten that one?
Sister pastor.
Girl, I'm just like, please stop. Like, stop.
Yes.
So here's what I really want to know, because Carlene, you've talked a lot about, what it is that you've done and stuff like that. Jamie, I want to know, as a pastor, besides calling her name and stuff like that, are there other things that you've done or you try to do to kind of make sure that the members don't have the wrong expectation? Or, I mean, what is your role in that?
And protecting her.
Yeah. Do you think it's your role to protect her in that situation? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that you think Carly even needs? Like, just take us through a little bit of that.
Yeah. So is this something that I think she needs? I don't think she needs it because she can protect herself. But I do feel like it is not only an honor, but it's also a responsibility of me as her husband, right? Not even just as a pastor, to protect my wife from anything anyone would have to say about her in a negative way, even in a passive aggressive way, right? You know, like, why is your wife sitting at the back of the church, or how come you don't want your children? And I'll be like, because she don't want to,
Right.
right? She don't want to.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I do often, I know she doesn't like it, but like, you know, when I'm behind the pulpit, like I'm always talking about how beautiful she is, how wonderful she is. I'm like singing to her. I overturned the whole service just to focus on her. But a part of that too is letting the church know, like, that's my wife. Don't mess with her.
Right.
I love her, and I love her the way she is. So I think, you know, but honestly, I don't think I've ever, and I don't know if I've ever told you about an experience where somebody has said something negative or said something about. I know that they talk about us. I know that they talk about my wife, but they don't say it to me, and so I'm kind of happy about that, you know,
Right.
because they know automatically what my response is going to be. And I think also too, with our journey, and I think within maybe like the last 2 years, like I have dedicated and made sure that nothing will come before us. So nothing in the church is going to come before me, Carlene, and our kids, because at the end of the day, this is all we got. You know, churches go, they get a new pastor. This is my family. So I've never gotten any negative flag from it.
Yeah, I think the part where I think how we presented ourselves, we haven't had people outrightly come and say or complain to Jamie about me or vice versa, right? I think because we just kind of from jump operate from a you know, like we are a united front, like you know,
You ain't getting between this.
yeah, exactly. Like this
Don't even
is
try it.
what it is, right? Exactly. So we've never had. I've heard of stories where negative things were said to the pastor about his wife or whatever, but that's just not been our journey. I think from jump we've just been as real and as open as possible, but as like, yo.
Yeah, and I'll even jump in and say
I'm like, don't get twisted. Like,
yeah, we turn our backs and we'll knuckle up if we need to. But
Right.
but here's the thing. I think you said it earlier, April, probably pre-show or during the show. It's like, you know, if they come at us with anything, there's no substance or nothing to stand on. Like, what you gonna say? You gonna talk about the way she dresses? Or you gonna, you know, like, what's wrong with it? What's negative about it? And if you're looking at her, then you probably need to focus your eyes on something else, right? You need to look somewhere else. So I just feel like they don't have any grounds to even, or something to stand on to try to prove otherwise. Kind of like the jewelry episode. Because I'm like, okay, if you got some grounds to negate what we're saying, then come. But nobody has come yet.
right.
So I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So it's just one of
We're from New York, so I think you know that. It's okay.
it's just one of those things. I think in ministry, what has been our saving grace is just making sure that we are good, right?
Yes.
And it shows and you feel it
Yeah.
in every interaction that we have. So that's kind of what has, I feel, helped us
Yeah.
on this journey of ministry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put up a couple of these comments. Kimberly says, "Yes, April. Something happened during the pandemic. It was a shift that happened." Leslie saying the same thing. Shift in mindset during the pandemic. Tony says she agrees with you, Jamie. Girl, yes, amen. She has a name.
You know, I want to say about the mind shift in the pandemic. It's almost like, you know, you see what's going on. You see this world about to come to an end. You see folks dying. Like, you look and reflect. Like, am I?
What's really important?
Yeah. What's actually important?
Exactly.
Is jewelry really important? Is you know, the way people dress, you know, that kind of stuff. I think we emphasize that too much in the church when we need to be emphasizing Jesus and the way we treat each other and those types of things. I know you guys emphasize that on your show. We really don't emphasize that enough. And I'm telling you, when you talk about people not coming and saying to the pastor what he doesn't like about the wife or anything. Like I remember we were at a church and I was thinking, oh man, this is great. Everyone just loves us. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so wonderful, right?
Yeah.
And this lady was bold enough to come tell me, yeah, girl, at the table
At the
at the
potluck.
potluck, they were talking about your skirt and how high it was or whatever. Something wasn't even short, y'all. And I was like,
No. And then she
oh, and
said
then she said,
that I came to your defense.
yes, she said, I came to I got you. Right.
I was like,
First of all,
you were the one that brought it up.
Exactly.
But I thought about it and I said, wow, I'm thinking everything was fine.
There's nobody
I
stopping you.
really didn't know. And I'd rather I don't care. If
Right.
I don't know, it ain't gonna hurt me,
Right.
But when I found out, I did get a little hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I really did, because I thought something different. And that actually made me say, okay, you need to go in a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go in thinking that everybody is okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that up front and be okay with it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can go back.
I like that point that you made, that knowing that everyone isn't okay, but you being okay, you saying to yourself, I'm okay with them not being okay.
Right.
I remember, again, no one comes to me personally, but so I remember someone coming to me and saying, oh, this person in a similar situation, they were like, people are saying the way that you wear your hair, it's so edgy, or it's so like, wow, like, it's so different for a pastor's wife. And I was just like, okay, and
Yeah, thanks for the information.
thanks for the compliment. I'm not sure, but it's just one of those things of really releasing the pressure of trying to live up to people's expectations.
And these expectations are these imaginations that people create in their brains. And then I also say too, maybe there are previous generations of pastors who have walked into that mold as well. And I think for us, we were just like, this is us, like the television, this is us.
Right.
And we're not going to adjust or succumb. And I would say for me personally that sometimes there is the thought about, like, as you said, April, that you do care about what people say. Like, I think all of us to some extent do care about what people say.
Right.
And there are those moments when I think about the conference. I think about the fraternity of pastors that I'm in.
Yeah.
The eyes looking at me, the things I think they might be saying, like, this man lets his wife do whatever he wants. Look at this guy in our flagship church and how how he carries himself and his wife. And then at the end of the day, I think for me, I'm just like, look, I got receipts. My church is still going. My church is still doing well. I'm still doing well. What? At the end of the day, what? So, and we're not outside of what God has told us to do. Like, and so, and the last point is, like, I really think that there's an issue with churches that I think sometimes we create toxic communities where we become more concerned about looking at each other rather than looking at the problems that we should be putting energy into.
Wow.
Yeah.
Putting energy into the way my wife dresses or how I dress, like, Jesus would have nothing to do with that.
Right.
He ain't got no time for that.
Exactly.
I think we spend a lot of time majoring in minors.
Yes.
And giving major energy to minor things. And I've learned that the people that have the most to say have the least to contribute.
Mercy,
Wow.
By the way, the reason Jesus was so unconcerned about that he ended up getting labeled a drunkard and a friend of sinners.
Exactly.
So he cared so little about how stuff looked that people started saying he's one of them. And Jesus probably wore that as a badge of honor.
And he dressed like the regular people.
Right.
Exactly.
Unlike John the Baptist, who, had a very strict dress code.
It shows that you can do either one.
Right.
Exactly.
Just stop criticizing those who are not doing it like you.
There you go.
That's the point. We don't accept other people in the way. And, I really believe we also talked about this when it comes to people who are, and as a teacher, right brain, artistic people who are creatives. Creatives get a lot of flack in the church.
They do. There's no place for them.
There's no place. And I feel it's like creatives want to express themselves creatively.
And the church says, no, there's no room for creativity.
Right.
We have to all do it like this. And if it's not being done like that, then it's wrong.
And we even do it with the music.
Right.
We even do it with the music. So it's just, we need to have a whole different mindset. A whole change. Oh, my student, is that Chase?
I don't even know. Somebody just came on talking about Miss Nixon.
Oh,
It's
my
like that.
student from last year.
So hold on. Tony says, Kim Turner Jacobs, I was just talking to my hubby about this. Same applies to anyone married to someone with a high position or position of authority.
Yes.
So, because Kim said earlier, this conversation is relatable not only to
true.
passive wives, but wives in general.
It's true.
Great conversation. So thank you
true.
for that, Kim.
Yes. See what Cynthia, she said, I had a member who complains to Keith about my dress.
Oh, man.
Wow.
My God.
And Kim says, I've been saying the same thing. There was something else somebody said here. If you don't shut that down the moment it comes up, don't come back and tell me anything because you helped the gossip.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this person's supposedly helping you out. You know what I'm saying?
Not helping you.
You sat there for the whole conversation.
Right. And you're gonna come tell me about
Exactly.
it. And leaving out big details that you contributed to the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Oh my goodness. You see Marthel, he's so crazy.
Tell me, Marthel said, I see you, April, looking like Mr. T with all that jewelry around your neck. Too much. Please tone it down for the next program, Sister Pastor.
Pastor, he did not do
Hannah and I, Russ said,
My wife finds comments like that an opportunity to enlighten people. So I guess if somebody came to his wife, Hannah and I as a pastor, and said something like that, she'd probably give him a lecture, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you know, and you can do that if you choose. I just feel like for me, I just say thank you so much, or okay, you know, I don't
You're not
have
gonna
the
engage.
energy.
Right.
I really don't. I do not have the energy to. Yeah, it's a waste of my time. So
Exactly.
and you know what's crazy is it really is just a handful of people who really do that.
True.
You know, but the handful talks. Yes, but they're bold, they're loud, and so it makes it feel like it's more than that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know?
It is so true. It's always a minority that
Yes.
makes it feel like, you know, and here's the other thing, the people who are cool with it, the people who are okay with it, they're the ones that usually don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't vocalize it. They're cool, you know, but it's the ones that always want to complain, that small group, they're always most vocal. And I've learned in my few years of ministry, and I'll say it again, the people who talk the most usually have the least to contribute.
That is true.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with, you know,
Yes.
just confirming what John was saying.
Okay. So I know you said this already, but I want you to just think about it. And I mean, you said this already, but I'm gonna ask it again. Jamie, when you first got into the ministry, did you ever require or try to require Carlene to do or not to do things because of your position? Like, were you ever tempted, even if you didn't, were you ever tempted to say, babe, I really want you to do this or not do this?
I think I would, to be honest, I think, yes, I would be tempted to say, like,
You know, she wasn't gonna have it. You know, she wasn't gonna have it.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it
Right.
100. I was at Ephesus, and there would be moments where I'd be like, "Can you please sing in the praise team? Can you please, you know, can you please?" And I think I've asked her a few times to do a few things, and you know, she'll just be like, "No," and I just have to just accept it, right? But as far as like me trying to say, can you dress a certain way, or can you wear this, or maybe if your dress isn't as fitted as it is right now, no, I've never, and you can confirm whether or not, but I don't think that I've ever said that. You know, I love the way my wife dresses. I love her body. I love the way it curves.
All right, now.
Listen, this is the show for that. Go ahead.
That's
Keep
right.
going. You know what I'm saying?
I would say this though. There's a camp meeting. You had on a dress, and I was loving it. But I was thinking, shoot, if I'm loving this like this,
You were like,
Who else is loving
who
it?
Who else is looking at this?
That's hilarious, man.
they see what I see. You know, so those moments would come up every now and then. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm proud to say that's my wife. Like,
Yeah.
she comes home with me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
And you know, this is the thing. It's like, you know, there are expectations wanting you to do these things and wanting us as pastoral families to do these things. But you can go home, and I'm talking you as in everybody else, and do what you want to do. I think that's what has been getting me over the years. It's like, Why? And I'm talking about with the minor things that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about you going and you know, getting drunk all, you know what I'm saying? And you going around cussing folk out, whatever. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, character issues. I'm talking about non-issues that you are requiring me to do, but you go home and do whatever you want.
Right.
I just have such a big problem with that. And I think those are the things that get, you know, that'll get me going, y'all. I get it. I don't even need to be talking about that.
You're already
right now.
going right now.
But I do this. I really want you to answer this question because this is good. What safeguards do you have for your children from unrealistic expectations of members? Because I think, and as pastors' kids, we can relate to how the children are seen and not seen, actually, or seen to have to do certain things or be a certain way. Have you experienced that with your children? Have you had to stand up and say, no, my children will not do that, or what?
So I am a helicopter mom.
Okay. We have an episode on that, by the way.
We do. You go back and watch.
Go back in the archives.
I definitely am going to check it out. I'm a helicopter mom when it comes to church. So I always tell them, if I can't see you, you are not safe in church.
Exactly.
Like like they're always with me. Everyone knows that they're with me always. When we were in New York, it was a little bit different because we had family members, we had friends that we trusted.
And they were babies.
And they were babies,
Yeah.
right? They were 1 and 2. So when we came here, it was just us. We didn't know anyone. So I became even more protective of them. And so, of course, members suggested, for, let me give you a break, or I don't mind watching them or whatever. I'm just like, nope, I'm good. So I've really taken on that role of protecting every part of them. I remember one time someone said, wow, the pastor's kids are wearing nail polish now. Okay. And I was just like, is there a problem? I was like, is there a problem with that? And
hold on. The person said it to you, or they just said it within earshot?
They said it to me, right? And it was like in this sarcastic way. I was like, is there a problem with that? I'm sorry, did I miss something? And they're like, no, it's just, different because, pastors' kids are just not. I was like, well, these are just not your average pastor's kid. They're Caitlin and they're Amber, period.
Right.
And I think for us, we've always been that. They even though they know that they are the pastor's kids, they're still we still very much say, you are Caitlin and Amber, and you operate just like as any normal kid would under any other circumstance.
Yeah.
So we really drive that in, that they're kids.
Yeah. And I don't know if this falls under the same category with church expectations for our children, but one of the hardest decisions that we had to make was we don't have our children in Adventist education. And we put them in public school, so I think like there is this understanding that as the pastor of the church, that we're supposed to have our kids in the school, even though we had them in there, but we pulled them out. So I already know that, and we knew that was going to come with some negative commentary, right? But at the end of the day, it's our kids, right?
Exactly.
And,
you got one shot.
One.
Yeah, and it's our decision, right? And so I think like that was also like, that's also like a created expectation that churches, conferences put on us. Like we have to put our kids in. And it's not saying that we have anything against it. We are all for it. We support it. We believe in it. But, we just had to make that decision to say that we wanted to put them over here. And we have our own philosophy in regards to why we did that.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying to say that it shouldn't be a problem if we want to make our own decision for our children.
Yeah.
That we
birthed.
Exactly.
Right.
That has our name.
You got one
Listen.
shot at raising these kids. and you have to make your decisions that you make based on their particular needs.
Yeah.
And sometimes
we had to do the
it's
same
just
thing.
yeah, and sometimes it's just as simple as the place that you want me to put them does not fit my kids' needs. That's it. It's that simple. And honestly, I don't have to explain it, but I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go back to the idea that you can send your kid wherever you
Wherever
want.
you want to send them.
Exactly.
You know,
And you wouldn't stand for this, not 1 minute with your kid.
One
You
word.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
We get the flack, right? We
Yeah,
get
Right.
yeah.
oh my gosh, they're not supportive of Adventist education.
Right.
We can support in other ways.
That's right.
We're just not putting our kids in that. So that's just that I had to battle it because I've never experienced Adventist education. He has, but I have not. So when I taught in the Adventist schools, I was like, okay, this is what it's all about. I believe in it, but it's just at that moment, it was just not the right thing for our girls. We wanted something a little different.
Yeah.
And owning that, right?
Yes.
Walking and owning that is important. Not making other people make you feel bad for a decision about your child,
your
children.
family. Yeah.
Right.
Like what? Like that jacked me up. Actually, Jamie, I was just like, I just want one person to come and tell me.
I wish it.
But the thing is, though, people are not going to say anything to you. They're going to talk about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And,
They're not going to say anything to you. Yeah.
And then when people, we talk about the topic control. When people can't control you, they will control what other people think about you.
Yes. Wow, that's deep and true.
Wow.
So, so they can't control us, but what they're going to do is control what other people think about us. And they're going to create little silos,
a narrative. Yeah.
And all of that stuff. But we just have, are committed to not allowing anything like that to break us apart in the decisions that we make, as long as we make them together.
Wow, I love that.
What I think, April has a philosophy, and I think you guys have this to your advantage. April's philosophy is person who loves people that no matter what anybody says about you, it's going to end up being okay. And that's basically how April, that's her philosophy. You know what I'm saying? If she remains genuine and just loves people, that eventually they'll figure out she's a good person.
That's why I'm not going to go off on you.
Right.
I'm not going to go off on you. I'm not going, now I haven't had a situation where I needed to go off. Let's just put it that way. Right. But I don't plan. That's I'm not trying to go off on anybody.
Right.
But if you're genuine, you're kind, you just be yourself, then people will just be quiet.
But I think that's the thing about you guys. No matter what, you guys are
Exactly.
genuine. What you see is what you get. And so if somebody's trying to say something about you, to malign you, or to satirize your name.
Satirize.
You guys see that? I don't know if you saw that. Or sabotage you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they can win against genuineness. And I actually feel that's the thing that most people are drawn to these days, because most of the time people are being fake. And so when we're actually being 100% who we really are, I think in the end people really respect you for that. I think you get more respect even if they don't agree with what you're doing at first, even if they realize they can't control you. I think in the end they respect you because you're actually being true. You're being a person of integrity.
Yes.
Is really what you're doing.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
And I noticed this too, because our kids were in Adventist school in one of our districts, and we had to take them out and we put them in public school. And it's so funny because, some people had some things to say, but I always think a couple of years after that, we left.
Right.
We gone.
Right.
And you ain't even think about us no more. Somebody else, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so can you imagine if you sacrificed your children?
Thank you.
Right? Just so that people can say, well, wow, that's such a great pastoral family
Right.
Can you imagine?
And then we leave and our kids are jacked.
Right.
And you ain't thinking about us no more.
Right.
It's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing that I think the new wives who are pastors' wives that are coming in need to hear. Because I feel like I went too long. We went too long. Having these things that we were dealing with and not realizing, hey, we really don't need to live for people.
Yes.
And I like what you said, Carlene, when you said Jesus loves me.
Yeah.
And that's who I should be living for.
That's it.
Only Jesus.
Yes.
You know,
That's right.
so many comments are coming in. We can't even hit all the comments. But
There's a grip.
A grip. But guys, I mean, this has been a good conversation. I mean, we could talk about this forever because it's so many stories could go along with this. Let me say that.
But we know y'all got to go to bed. Well, actually, it's only 9 o'clock for y'all, so you probably.
He's talking about himself. He already yawned twice.
I'm about to say, are we playing right now?
We are playing now. We wasn't
Against
doing
who?
good when I turned it off, but
Who we playing against?
Miami Heat. I mean, it's understandable.
We should be able to win that though.
We should, but
so bad to have to say that.
I know.
me, John. Who else do we need to do a Knicks? We need to do a Knicks.
Mike, my cousin Mike Nixon. My Uncle Tim, my brother Paul. You know what I'm saying? We need to have just my cousin Brian. We just need to have like some kind of therapy session or something. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all do.
For back in the loser for so long.
Y'all are some true fans.
For real, man. Thanks for being on the show, you guys.
Thanks so much.
You guys are awesome.
This has been amazing. Just
Glad you
being
enjoyed
able
it.
to realize that we're not in this
No.
by ourselves. Like, we are. We also feel what each other feels. So it's really great to be able to connect, have this conversation, to know that we're not in this.
Yeah.
We're not alone.
Yeah.
Yes, we appreciate you guys.
Thanks for your honesty and your openness. Thanks for your show.
Yeah, thanks for your show
You know
because
what I'm
that's where, I mean, me and John was chilling. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know this, but he took a 3-month sabbatical. So this is just his second week. We didn't talk about burnout and all that kind of stuff. That's a whole nother. We could talk about that too, but now we're able to be together on Sabbath and just enjoy and watch you guys.
That's why we're watching y'all every Sabbath now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the fact that we don't get to enjoy Sabbath together.
Right.
Isn't
You know
it
what I
great?
mean?
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, so that's what the pandemic kind of brought too.
Yes.
You can actually enjoy the Sabbath a little bit in a different kind of way.
It's so amazing.
That's right. You can make love on the Sabbath.
Exactly. Well, we do that anyway.
Well,
we bring in the Sabbath. We bring that. We open the Sabbath.
Open and close it.
That's true.
Ain't no better way.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
But you were saying something to them I wanted to say something about just now. You were saying something about their show and how
we were able to sit down and watch. I was like, that's what?
Oh, you were telling them I was on sabbatical. You were saying that's the thing they probably didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was just saying that's why we were able to sit down and watch your show.
That is why. Right.
No, I was just
like the whole thing.
No,
like
I
didn't have to get up and go nowhere. I had no meeting to go
man.
to. You know what I'm
Feet
saying?
up,
right.
Fireplace on,
Right.
just chilling.
The life.
It was
And
right.
it's so crazy because as Sabbath keepers and being a pastor, like you really don't keep the Sabbath, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're just constantly going in that way. And so being able to slow down and to enjoy Sabbath like regular people.
Yes.
Man.
I have breakfast. I haven't had breakfast on the Sabbath in I don't know how long.
Wow.
Are you serious?
No,
Like
you're
to
right.
sit down.
We don't have breakfast. It's
You just
we
grab
don't
something
either.
and go.
You know that's what
Go
we
to the
do.
car.
We
That's
grab
true.
something and go. Yeah.
We have pancakes. We have turkey bacon with eggs.
Wow.
King on Sabbath.
That's a real breakfast. My goodness.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We don't want no cereal bowl. It's no granola bowl.
We just be taking a banana and some applesauce.
That's it. That's all we
in
do.
the car. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
In a grocery bag.
So tell us where we can find you. We know you're on Facebook on Saturdays at 2:30 Central Time.
Sometimes 2:54, right?
Right. Sometimes 2:54, whatever.
It depends.
Between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, we're gonna be on.
Okay.
Now where can we follow you and stuff like that though?
Yeah, so you want to give them your Instagram?
It's Carleen Khalasar. That's my handle.
I think I can put it in the chat.
Yes,
And,
please do.
And his is Jamie Khalasar or the New Negro or something like that.
I got a whole bunch of Instagram handles when I'm running from people. I got different identities on Instagram.
You got the Kevin Durant burner accounts and stuff like that?
That's right.
You can see people talking about you and comment on your own stuff. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, y'all need to follow them. They're a great follow. You need to watch
Yes.
their show on Sabbath afternoons. They're excellent.
Yes.
Or I should say Saturday afternoons.
Saturday
You know what I'm
afternoons.
Yeah, you can catch it on my page, Jamie Khalasars. Just look us up. You'll see us on Sabbath afternoons, 2:30.
Now, real quick, Jamie. Back in the day, you used to have this podcast that you and your boy. I don't remember who the guy is, but y'all would talk about sneakers and like rap and stuff like that. I haven't seen that in a while. You not doing that no more?
Yo, it's great you asked that. We just talked about we're relaunching again. Two
Oh,
really
word.
dope dudes.
What's it called?
It's called Two Really Dope Dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
So-
watching that.
It's coming back. Yeah, so it's coming
Good,
back.
good.
We just talked about it.
We
Yeah.
need to have John on.
I know we gotta talk about the Knicks, man.
Yeah.
Listen, and your
And I wear
Jordans.
my J's.
He'll
You know what I'm saying?
he'll bring out all his J's.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
She
we
said,
talk
"Oh
about
boy."
Knicks, and we need some more in the Yankees as well too, man. We need to lament about the Yankees as well.
It's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute, man.
It's a shame.
It's been a minute.
We stuck at 27.
Yeah. That's right. I'm here for you guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, y'all.
Welcome,
We'll catch up. We'll
guys.
catch up soon. Hopefully, we can have you on the show again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you want to come
let
back.
us know.
Yes.
And we need to switch and put you guys on the show.
Absolutely.
We would
Yeah.
love to. We would love to.
Yeah, definitely.
Just tell us when.
Yeah.
Look, we got Sabbath free now.
I got Sabbath free for the next 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Till April 16th. You know what I mean?
We can let them do the show.
Right. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys.
Thanks again. All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Peace.
Well, as usual, that was amazing.
Yes.
I enjoyed that thoroughly. And let me tell you something.
I love them.
What I love about them, though, is they're really not pretentious at all.
No.
There's nothing
love
about
that.
that. And I love that.
It's hard to find that these days.
It's really hard to find that.
It really is.
It is.
So when you can find it, you need to just enjoy it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
tonight it's not Team John and Team April. It's just Team Khalasars. You can put
Team
that in. You know what I'm
Khalasars. Go
saying?
put that in. Matter of
Heart
fact,
and
heart
and thumbs up.
and
You know what I'm
like.
saying? Like all
Yes,
that.
do
You know what
the
I'm saying?
laughy face, all of
Whatever
it.
you want to do,
That's
put it
right.
all in there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, people were laughing at all kind of stuff. Burner
Man, I
accounts.
hate that I didn't get to them comments, man. I saw some good comments, okay?
We have to go back and look at that.
You gotta go back, babe.
Kim said
Yeah.
they're so down to earth. Love it.
Yeah.
Why
What's
is my
up with the
stuff
music?
doing that?
What's happening? Babe, what is going on?
I don't know.
Listen, the music can't be messing up
I'm
now.
saying it's acting funny. It's probably because it's bedtime. That's
Yes,
that's
it
the
is.
issue. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go, Madeline. Come on.
Team Khalasars. Yeah. That's what they're doing right now. Okay, y'all. So I messed up something. And actually, now that I think about it, I probably need to fix it right now.
Babe, what'd you do? What are you
All
talking
right, so
about?
let me fix this right now. I just found out that it turns out this challenge that we talked about is not free. And I accidentally said it was.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
I knew it wasn't free.
Well,
I didn't even hear you say
why did
that.
you correct me?
Listen, this is not free because it is worth
It's
so
worth every
much.
dime. There's no question about it.
So your offer challenge, y'all need to join. If
Create
you
your
are,
offer challenge. These are for people
Yes.
who have an idea that you're trying to figure out how you can monetize it. How can you make this into a business? How can you start making money and offering people something that can go to the next level?
Yes.
So it's starting January 31st, going through February 2nd. All you have to do is go to createyourofferchallenge.com. And I'm telling you now, we are personally beneficiaries of Kimon Hines' ministry.
Yes, y'all.
That's basically what this is.
He
Kimon
is the bomb.
is the man.
Okay,
You know
he's
what I'm
the
saying?
bomb. What's crazy about Kimon is he makes us feel like we're his only clients. And it's like,
Right. How are you doing this?
That's
Yeah.
like that doctor that makes you feel like you're the only patient.
Exactly
I love
right.
that. I
Yeah,
love that.
he's good like that. So you join
Yes.
this challenge and it's gonna make a difference. If you're the kind of person who's thinking, you know what, I have an idea, I wanna make it better, but I don't know what to do, this is exactly for you. I'm
Yes.
telling you wanna do it. I don't
Yes.
think it costs an arm and a leg. Just go to create your own offer, yourofferchallenge.com, you can find out. They're the ones who brought us
And I
the
put
show.
it in the chat. So.
That's hilarious. Primo just asked, Johnny, you wearing a soft ring? Yeah, it's like a
See
piece
what I'm
of
saying?
rubber.
See what I'm saying? Pastors can't even have on. It's a wedding
How
band.
do I do this? I don't know why it ain't focusing. Jamie, what's wrong with my what's wrong with my lens, man? It ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
John loves showing off stuff like that, and then it don't even work.
I do. Anyway, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us again. We'll be back next week. We got some things in the works for you over the next few episodes. So
Yes.
stick with us. Make sure you share with people, like it, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see y'all next time.
All right, guys. See y'all.